Perpetuities are annuities that have an indefinite term. They do not have a predetermined term or a finite term. So essentially, we are expecting them to pay cash flows forever. So this could be something like rental income, where you currently own a property and you receive rent every month and you don't know when you're going to sell this property. So in order to value it, you take the present value of all its future cash flows and you assume you hold it forever. Now, another example could be something like equities, where they pay you dividend income every year or every half year, however often it happens. Then your perpetuity is to value this share, is to bring forward all of your future expected dividends to this current point in time. So perpetuities do not have a predetermined date. So let's derive the formula for perpetuity to understand exactly what it is. Now we'll do that for a perpetuity in advance and in arrears. So let's start with the one in arrears. So the actuarial notation is A with an infinity where we would normally have the N. So it would normally look something like that, but now we have an infinity instead of N. So this is essentially equal to the annuity with N, except where we are taking the limit as N approaches infinity. So then if we substitute in the formula for an annuity, a present value annuity in arrears, then we get the limit as N approaches infinity of 1 minus V to the N over I. Now, V to the N is simply 1 plus I to the negative N. And that is simply 1 over 1 plus I to the N. So we can get rid of V to the N and replace it with 1 plus I to the N. With 1 over 1 plus I to the N. And now, if we take the limit as N goes to infinity, this denominator in this fraction becomes extremely large. And as this denominator becomes extremely large, this whole fraction becomes extremely small. Because as you divide by a larger and larger number, the quotient becomes smaller and smaller. So this will approach 0, this term. So then we'll have 1 minus 0 over I. And the formula then for a perpetuity in arrears is 1 over I. Okay. And the same thing, the same logic can be applied to perpetuities in advance, where we take the limit as N approaches infinity of a present value annuity in advance. And that will leave us eventually with 1 over D. And that's where D is equal to 1 minus V, and V is 1 plus I to the negative 1. Okay, and quickly note that there aren't perpetuities for future values, and that reason should be kind of obvious. It's because how could you future value something where its term is infinite? So this is going to pay cash flows forever. So where's the end? You can't really future value it. There's no such thing. Okay, so there are future values to points in time in the future. That makes sense. But to the end of the term of annuity, that obviously cannot be done. And this is where I'd normally do examples on the video, but I'm not going to do that for perpetuities, because I think if you really just understand that these are the formulae, then there's not really much else to it that I could think of that an example could teach you. It's really just multiplying the payment by this to calculate the present value of your perpetuity. So yeah, so if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments down below and I'll try my best to tend to them. Thank you for watching.